Welcome. In the previous videos, we have covered the basics of heat transfer, in which I have discussed various modes of heat transfer like conduction, convection and radiation. Now, in this video, I will be deriving an expression for general heat conduction equation, which can be used for analyzing the cases of slab. Similarly, we will see the final equation of cylinder and sphere, which can be used in analysis of cylindrical elements and spherical elements. So, the objective of this video is to obtain an expression for heat conduction equation for Cartesian coordinates, and I will also explain the final expressions for cylindrical and spherical coordinates. So, once this knowledge is acquired, we can actually analyze any heat conduction numerical, like if you have a plane wall or composite system, it can be. Firstly, we should know what is the Fourier's law of heat conduction, because based on this we will be actually getting the expression for heat conduction equation for considering all the three directions. So, it states that the rate of heat flux is directly proportional to the temperature gradient in the direction of heat flow. Now, we have Q, which is the rate of heat flux or rate of heat flow. If you divide it by area, it will be rate of heat flux. So, it is directly proportional to minus dt by dn. So, n is the direction, dt by dn is the temperature gradient. Now, this negative sign, it takes care of negative temperature gradient, because when the heat flows, it is from high temperature region to low temperature region, but when you apply integration or when you integrate, it will give you the difference which is negative. So, that negative sign or negative magnitude is taken care of by this negative sign. So, we have the expression which is rate of heat flow, that is equal to minus K A dt by dn, and if you consider a specified direction, like if I consider x direction, then it is q x, which is equal to minus K A dt by dx. So, we know that this K which is used here is the constant which is called as thermal conductivity, and the unit of this thermal conductivity is watt per meter Kelvin. The rate of heat flow is in the direction which is perpendicular to the area, x direction, which is perpendicular to the cross sectional area. So, let us now consider an element from a slab, right. The slab, it has the dimensions of x, x as the magnitude of length in x direction, y is the width, height in y direction, and z is the width. So, if I consider a small element of dimension dx, dy and dz of this slab, then I have q x, q suffix x, which is the rate of heat flow in x direction which is entering the element. Q x plus dx is the heat which is leaving the element in x direction at a distance of dx. Similarly, q y, it is the heat which is entering the element in y direction from the bottom surface, and q y plus dy, this is the heat which is leaving the element at a distance dy in y direction. Similarly, you have q z, which is the heat which is entering the element in z direction, and q z plus dz is the heat which is leaving the element in z direction at a distance of dz from the inner surface. So, now you also have one more element, and that is heat which is generated in the element per unit volume. So, let me consider it as q g. This is denoted by q g, and it is the internal heat which is generated per unit volume. So, there are some cases in which you may have internal heat generation in the element itself. So, that we need to consider, and it is taken as Qg. So, once this is understood, now we can write an expression for Qx and Qx plus dx. So, in x direction we have Qx which is equal to minus Kx into area. Area in the x direction is dy into dz. Dy is the height of the element and dz is the width. So, the area perpendicular to x direction is dy into dz into del T by del x. So, this is the temperature gradient in x direction. Similarly, in y direction you have minus Ky, area is dx into dz and del T by del y is the temperature gradient in y direction. And for z direction it is minus Kz, where you have Kz as the thermal conductivity in z direction, area is dx into dy and del T by del z is the temperature gradient in z direction. So, here I have considered Kx, Ky and Kz as the conductivity in x, y and z direction. Now, if you want to write an expression for Qx plus dx at a distance of dx from the inner surface, then we need to use Taylor series, and what I will do is I will consider only first two terms and I will neglect the higher terms. So, I have Qx plus dx as Qx plus del Qx by del x into dx. So, this is the expansion of Qx plus dx using Taylor series, where I have neglected higher terms. Similarly, Qy plus dy will be Qy plus del Qy by del y into dy, and Qz plus dz will be Qz plus del Qz by del z into dz. So, this is just an expansion of Qx plus dx, Qy plus dy and Qz plus dz. Now, what I will do is I will calculate the net heat which is conducted across the element in x direction, y direction and z direction. So, net heat which is conducted in the x direction is Qx minus Qx plus dx, and that will be. So, if you consider this Qx and Qx plus dx, we have Qx in common. So, that will get cancelled and you are left with only minus del Qx into del x divided by del x into dx. So, this is the term which remains after you take the difference of Qx and Qx plus dx, and I substitute Qx as minus Kx dy into dz. So, that is area del T by del x, right. So, once I substitute that and I simplify it, I will get an expression as del by del x. This minus sign will also get nullified. So, you have del by del x Kx del T by del x into dx dy dz. So, that is Qx minus Qx plus dx, which is net heat conducted in x direction. Similarly, you have an expression for Qy minus Qy plus dy, which is net heat conducted in y direction as del by del y Ky del T by del y del x dx dy dz, and for z direction it is Qz minus Qz plus dz, and that is del by del z Kz del T by del z dx dy dz. So, this is the net heat conducted through the element in x, y and z direction. So, now what I will do is I will use simple energy balance, where you have net heat conducted through the element in x, y and z direction plus heat which is generated in the element, that is equal to change in internal energy of the element. So, you have heat which is coming into the element plus heat generated minus heat which is going out of the element, that will be equal to change in internal energy of the element. So, when I simplify or use the expressions which we have obtained, then I will get this as the expression, where del by del x Kx del T by del x plus del by del y Ky del T by del y plus del by del z Kz del T by del z into dx dy dz in common, plus Qg is the heat which is generated per unit volume So, Qg into volume, that gives you total heat generated. This is equal to change in internal energy, and change in internal energy is mCp dt by dt. So, m is rho into volume. So, rho into dx dy dz into Cp del T by del T, right, change in temperature with respect to time. So, this is unsteady steady state term which we need to consider and which is responsible for change in internal energy. So, mCp into delta T by dt, that gives you the change in internal energy, and I have splitted m as rho into volume, and volume is dx dy dz. So, dx dy dz, that will get cancelled. And so, the objective of this video is to obtain an expression for heat conduction equation for Cartesian coordinates, and I will also explain the final expressions for cylindrical and spherical coordinates. So, once this knowledge is acquired, we can actually analyze any heat conduction numerical, like if you have a plane wall or composite system, it can be easily analyzed. So, now you may have a case in which you need to consider only one direction. So, if the case is like steady state heat conduction without internal heat generation, and that too you have heat flow only in one direction, unidirectional heat flow, because you may have a configuration in which maximum heat flows only in one direction and in the remaining direction the heat flow is negligible. So, in that case you can go for a unidirectional heat conduction equation considering only one direction. So, let us assume that direction is x direction. So, you have an expression which is d square t by dx square. Now, this is complete differential. If you consider all the three directions, then it is partial differential equations, but if you consider only one direction, then it will be a complete differential equation giving you the expression as d square t by dx square equal to 0, where you have no internal heat generation and the case is steady state case, condition is steady state. So, if you integrate this, you will get if you integrate d square t by dx square equal to 0, then you get dt by dx as c 1 equal to c 1, and if you integrate it twice, you will get t equal to c 1 x plus c 2. Now, this is the form with c 1 and c 2 as the constants. Now, in order to obtain c 1 and c 2, you should have two boundary conditions. So, for a slab, you have two boundary conditions which are at x equal to 0, you know the temperature as T 1 or T 0, and at x equal to L, temperature is T L. So, these two boundary conditions can be used and you can obtain the values of C 1 and C 2, and finally, you can get the temperature distribution equation for any value of x. So, we have a slab through which the heat is flowing, steady state is achieved, K is the conductivity of the slab material, then T 0 is the temperature at x equal to 0, T L is the temperature at x equal to L. So, these two boundary conditions will give you values of C 1 and C 2 as T L minus T 0, C 1 is T L minus T 0 by L. So, this is after simplification, and C 2 as T 0. So, this is just a simplification. Substitute x equal to 0, you will get C 2 equal to T 0, substitute x equal to L, you will get C 1 as T L minus T 0 by L. So, when I substitute this C 1 and C 2 in the temperature equation which we got, so it becomes T equal to C 1 is T L minus T 0 by L into x, and C 2 is T 0 plus T 0. And when I rearrange these terms, I will get the temperature distribution equation as T minus T 0. This T is temperature at any x, and T L minus divided by T L minus T 0, that is equal to x by L. So, this is an equation, temperature distribution equation, which can be used for obtaining temperature at any value of x. That means, if I want to get value of temperature at the mid plane, I just substitute x equal to L by 2, I will get that temperature. If I want to get value at x equal to L by 4, I just substitute x equal to L by 4 in this equation, and I will get that temperature, if I know this inner surface and outer surface temperatures. So, that should be known. So, this is the way how you can deal with the numerical using this general heat conduction equation, and we have reduced it for unidirectional heat flow, and we have obtained this as the expression. Now, we also have from Fourier's law that Q x is equal to minus k x into A into temperature gradient, that is dt by dx. Now, from this equation itself, from general differential equation, I have obtained an expression for dt by dx as C 1, and what is C 1? T L minus T 0 by L. So, if I substitute that here, I get an expression for Q x which is minus k x into area T L minus T 0 by L, and if I simplify this further, I will absorb negative sign, because T L is less than T 0, it will earn negative magnitude. So, if I absorb negative sign, I will get a positive magnitude of heat flow, which is k x into A T 0 minus T L by L. So, in this way I can utilize general differential equation and I can obtain the rate of heat flow through this slab. Now, next thing is the general differential equation for cylindrical coordinates. Now, in case of Cartesian coordinates we used 3 directions x, y and z, but in case of cylindrical coordinate you have the length of the cylinder, you have the radius of the cylinder and you have the angular surface of the cylinder. So, for that we can actually get the expression using again x, y and z. So, firstly you need to calculate x which is equal to r into cos theta. So, that you can actually draw here, where z is the height, x is one coordinate and y is another coordinate, r is the radius of the element and theta is the angular angle of the cylinder. So, in this case you get x equal to r cos theta. From this diagram you can actually get these values, y equal to r sin theta and z is same as z. So, if I substitute it, I will get an expression, that is the final expression which we will get for a cylinder. You need not worry about this expression, as you can actually just substitute x, y and z and you can finally get this expression. But you try to remember this expression, final expression, and out of this generally we use only one direction heat flow, that is in radial direction, because for a long cylinder, like take the case of a wire through which current is passing, in that case generally the heat flow is in radial direction. It is it is negligible in longitudinal direction. So, generally heat flows in radial direction. So, you can reduce this expression which I have written here into a unidirectional steady state heat conduction, where there is no heat generation and steady state has been achieved, as 1 by r d by dr r dt by dr equal to 0. And you can also further simplify it and get this expression as d square t by dr square plus 1 by r dt by dr equal to 0. So, this is an unidirectional heat flow general heat flow heat conduction equation for a cylindrical coordinate, right. Similarly, you can get it for spherical coordinate system. Now, in case of spherical coordinate system, you have all the 3 directions which are affected by angle. So, you have the zenith angle, right, you have azimuth angle and you have radial direction. These are the 3 directions of the sphere: zenith angle perpendicular, then azimuth angle which is along the sphere, and radial angle which is perpendicular to the surface area of the sphere in radial direction. So, there we have x equal to r sin theta cos phi, where phi is azimuth angle, theta is zenith angle, then y is equal to r sin theta into sin phi. So, this is y coordinate and z is r cos theta. So, at any point you can use this 3 coordinates and finally, you will get the expression for spherical coordinate system. Now, the 2 terms q g by k and 1 by alpha dt by dt, they are same for Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical coordinate. You need to remember this other 3 terms in the expression. First term is the radial direction, second term is the zenith angle and third term is the azimuth with respect to azimuth angle. So, if you consider unidirectional heat flow, then with steady state condition and without any internal heat generation, this gives you very simplified expression, which is 1 by r square del by del r into r square dt by dr, that is equal to 0. So, if you integrate this, you will finally get a temperature distribution equation for a spherical coordinate system. Similarly, if you integrate the expression unidirectional heat flow steady state heat conduction equation for cylindrical coordinate, you can actually get the temperature distribution equation for cylindrical coordinate system. So, this gives you complete idea about the general differential equations which can be obtained using simple Fourier's law, starting from Fourier's law, using energy balance, you can finally obtain these expressions, which can be used in analysis of Cartesian coordinate system, spherical coordinate system, and the cylindrical coordinate system. Thank you.